Landman has faced the greatest challenge in figuring out how to include Tommy Norris' family in the play All Roads Lead to a Hole. The 7th episode of the first season demonstrates that the problem is unsolvable. Following one of the most dramatic episodes of the series, Angela and Ainsley's careless actions take up most of the hour. Parenting concerns feel like a diversion from the more important and serious topics. Tommy and the MTX team regard the cartel as an obstacle in All Roads Lead to a Hole, but they continue to do business nonetheless. Ainsley acts like any other TV kid after Angela and Ainsley volunteer impromptu at a retirement home, but that's the meat of the story. Despite their placement, the most dramatic moments fail to leave the desired impression. Landman goes in a different direction with only a few episodes remaining. From the very beginning of the Landman series, when Tommy Norris was seen signing a lease agreement while in captivity, the idea of him needing to fight off Mexican drug gangs has been present, thanks to that excellent setup. Episode 5's cartel declaration set the stage for even more riveting drama. The fact that Tommy's son, Cooper Norris, was hospitalized in Episode 6 provided an excuse to shift the attention away from the cartel crisis and onto the Norris family. Episode 7 lacks any such rationale. The one scene where the entire MTX crew runs off a cartel enforcer is too short to make a significant impact. Even though the cartel is mentioned, the financial side of the narrative is handled competently, and Landman does a wonderful job of delving into the many aspects and high stakes of the oil industry. All Roads Lead to a Hole builds on that, following Monty Miller as he strikes a deal for more oil wells, a transaction that could wind up hurting him and Tommy in the end. Tommy finds himself in an unequal position because this occurrence may have reinforced the cartel's status as a serious danger. Instead, Landman runs the danger of the viewers losing interest in it, and the show's oil plot has merely economic stakes in the absence of the cartel. Someone from the cartel watches Tommy leave a party through night vision goggles, which suggests he also saw Ainsley. This gives a fleeting hint of a wider problem. With any luck, Episode 8 will be the payoff. However, in order to regain its previous momentum, Landman required additional factors. A major showdown between Tommy and the cartel was necessary to make a strong impression. No one ever worries about the crew's safety, even when those two black trucks wheel up to the new oil derrick site. A tired joke about the hired bodyguard doing nothing is all that's needed when it comes to building suspense. This program can and should do a lot better. Rather than the cartel, Tommy's ex-wife and daughter are the main causes of friction in his life. An excellent suggestion made in the summary of All Roads Lead to a Hole is that Angela and Ainsley spend time getting to know the Midland community. This would have provided a different perspective on the civilian side of the narrative and given the characters more depth. However, Landman employs the same convention seen in any other television drama to play this out. Angela, played by Ollie L., invigorates a retirement home by introducing its inmates to booze and a game of cards against humanity. However, the point of this is unclear. Before that, Angela's declaration that she will never work and instead wants everything to be bought for her adds to the impression that she is greedy and vain. Her reaction in Episode 6, when she visited her home with her now ex-husband, makes it seem like old news. Episode 7 utterly squanders the opportunity for Angela to reflect on herself and for Landman to give her a more nuanced character. Even worse, Ainsley does. She confirms her mother's assertion that she is just as materialistic as the traditional young woman who wants to hook up at a neighborhood party. She swoons over rising football star Ryder Sampson and begins gushing about her future husband's career as a quarterback in the National Football League. She broke up with her ex-boyfriend in the pilot because he clearly only wanted to sleep with her, but now that subtlety is missing. Billy Bob Thornton's note-perfect rampage when Tommy arrives and repeatedly threatens Ryder is the sole redeeming quality of this narrative. Still, everything leading up to and including that point is pointless dramatization. The plot of All Roads Lead to a Hole between Cooper and Ariana is diametrically opposed to that of Ainsley and Ryder. An intense, sudden attraction in a moving truck and a slower, more subtle chemistry that has been developing appear to be the two opposites that Landman is attempting to draw attention to. Although the comparison falls flat due to the lack of depth in Ainsley's subplot, it remains intriguing to observe the writer's intentions about Ariana and Cooper. The fact that they have a kiss is obvious to everybody watching on television. It begins the second she invites him into her home because of everything they've been through together, as well as the broader consequences for the show. Ariana and Cooper avoid appearing cliched, like Ainsley and Ryder. Landman Season 1 takes place over the course of fewer than 2 weeks, so it's possible that the trauma bonding that Jacob Laughlin mentioned to CBR will not lead to a real relationship. The writers also refrain from going too far. For example, neither character gets naked in the middle of the story. Despite its predictability, it never comes across as forced. Furthermore, Rebecca Falcone deserves a lot of credit for the episode's concluding scene, which serves as a large flashing warning regarding the repercussions of this. As Rebecca attempts to get Ariana to sign MTX's settlement offer, Cooper enters the room, and Rebecca practically gloats over the new knowledge. Unfortunately, there aren't enough memorable scenes in Landman Season 1, Episode 7, that pertain to the oil industry and its repercussions to make the program stand out.